about the love I wanna hold. It's all about my heart I lost tonight.
Hello. So today's video is going to be talking about my daughter's closet. And before I get into how I organized it, how I organize her toys, all of that kind of stuff, I would like to talk about why I chose the things I chose, as well as kind of my thought process behind that, because that's very, very important when you see how I, excuse me, how I organized her room. I'm going to start with saying that with kids, as they grow older, from baby to, toddler to little girl to older girl, like preteen, not only are their needs always changing, but the items that they have, the toys that they have, they go from being really big toys to really small, teeny, intricate toys. And so as they grow older, their needs are changing. The type of clothes they have, when they're babies, they have onesies and, little pants and little socks and mittens and all that kind of stuff. Whereas when they're, toddler little girls, there's dresses and shorts and skirts and all that kind of stuff. So again, not only in the toy department, but in the clothes, they're always changing. So with that being said, as you've seen in my household, there are places where I do spend money. I do invest in nice things, in nice organizers, etc. And there are other places in my house that I choose to just kind of figure it out as I go, to use what I have. And this is that area that I choose to use what I have as well as what I can find. So with that being said, though her closet is not my, dream organization of what I'm capable of doing, or what I would like, it just really works for now. It's very functional. She knows where everything is. She's able to put everything away. It's very simple. So there are times in my life when I choose simplicity over perfection. And that's a very important key to know when you go to organize your child's bedroom. So to dive a little bit deeper into that, if you buy, fancy dressers where your child can't even get to the top drawer, or it's kind of hard to pull out and it's bulky, or it's just it's a deep drawer that has layers upon layers of clothes and you can't even see what the bottom clothing item is. They end up growing out of it, and they never have worn it. It's brand new. All of us who's watching this has been there. So having deep drawers, those big, I love them for playrooms, and I'm definitely getting one of those for the new house. But those, those cube organizers, although I've seen those in closets and I really like the idea, the actual usage of that is just not realistic. It's a deep cube and the kids don't ever know where the bottom is or what's there, and it just gets messy. I can only imagine if you fold clothes in there and then they reach to the very bottom of that cube and then pull something out and then everything falls out and becomes unfolded, if that's a word. So that to me is not a realistic option. I needed to find something that not only was realistic for my daughter, for her to be able to put things away, know where they go, for them to stay organized. That's the problem. Everyone organizes or tries to. I would say a lot of people try to, but they're organizing in a way that's not maintainable. When you organize, not only do you want it to look good, but you want it to you want it to function properly, and you want it to stay that way. So you need to create. You can't blame your child for doing like, making a mess that you just organized when it just wasn't realistic to begin with. So with that being said, you really want to make sure you choose, sorry about that. You choose a method that is that your child can, use as well. Sorry, my arm's getting tired. Let me readjust. Okay, so now that that's clear, you also want to, you don't want to invest too much money yet. That's another thing, is that because my daughter's always changing, her toys are always changing, everything's different sizes, etc. You don't want to buy the perfect organization for one time period when they're babies, but when they're toddlers, it doesn't work anymore. It's not functional anymore. So you just spent all of this money and then it's not even worth it. So I suggest to do something not cheaper. I feel like cheap, you associate cheap with bad quality. That's not the case all the time. Sometimes it is, but sorry, my allergies this morning are crazy. So where was I? Okay, so yeah. So spending money on the type of things that you do this with, start with what would work best and then find a option, whether that's on, Facebook Marketplace or, cheaper containers. It doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to work. That's why, organization is key, because it has to work. And if it doesn't work, you're not really organized. That's not really the case. So with that being said, I am going to take you along. I just showed you briefly my daughter's room. It's mermaid themed. It's, bright colors and fun and cute, and it's just perfect for a toddler. She'll probably change her mind and want to redo her room, and that's totally okay. Whenever she's ready to redo her room, I'm right there with her, because I did not invest a ton of money into the stuff that I have. For example, her desk, I got it for free from a really good friend of mine. Well, her dad, for her dad's other daughter, her sister, whatever. Anyways, this Barbie house I got for like $20. Her bed, I think I bought it for $300. That chair was free. And then a few other things, my mother-in-law really helped decorate this room. Like, she got the bedding and all that stuff. And my mother-in-law loves to decorate as well. And so if I went to her and said, hey, she wants to do this now, my mother-in-law is all for it, because she'll be there. She'll be excited to redecorate again. So anyways, with that being said, we're going to use this for the time being. And then when the time comes that she wants to change her mind, we'll do it. It's no big deal. If you buy, a $1,200 bedroom set and then the child changes their mind and doesn't like it, yeah, that's a big deal. And most likely, your child doesn't know what they want. You don't really know what they want. It's always fun to decorate a few different times to really understand what you like. And so, just use what you have while they're young. And then once Summer, gets into her, in a couple years, she'll really want some nice stuff then. And we can do that then. No big deal. But for now, just do what you can. So I'm going to now show you how I organized her closet. It's a little bit different. And like I said, I just used what I had. I did it in a very inexpensive way, and it just works. It's functional. So I will take you along with that. Okay, so I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. And I'm going to start off with saying that this basket is my secret hidden gem, and I'm going to make a separate video about this. I'm going to upload it probably almost, immediately after this video is uploaded. So if you like this video, go watch this next one. And if it hasn't uploaded yet, I promise you it will soon. You're definitely going to want to hear why I have this basket. It's very, very important with kids. Okay, so up here, that's just her memorabilia stuff. My mom made this card. It's a cardboard box and she spray painted it. She got crafty. This is a box that was made by one of Garrett's family members to hold like her coming home outfit and my first bathing suit that was also her first bathing suit. Those are just really important, like family heirloom baby blankets, you know, the stuff that you have to have, or like you have to keep, not that you have to, you want to, that's from family, and that's just up there. You want to put that stuff that you don't ever touch on the top shelves. That's where you want to utilize that space. You don't want to put stuff that you use often up there because, one, your child will never be able to get it, and two, it just doesn't make sense for the real estate up there. So definitely use top shelves for things that you don't use often. Now, going down here, as far as her clothes go, I organize things differently than most. I do not organize by color or by season, because we're in Florida. Our season is hot, hot, and then hotter. So the way I organize stuff is by what you need to wear for the day. So for example, this is all of her dresses right here. I have short sleeve dresses, kind of like it's still short sleeve, but like the 2-finger dresses, a little bit more fancier dresses here, and then more fancy. And then, you know, this is the short sleeve dresses, and then it goes to the longer sleeve and then long sleeve. So why I did it this way is in Florida, you kind of decide, you normally never wear long sleeve, maybe 2 or 3 days a year. But, you know, for example, today we're just running errands, and so my daughter picked out one of these dresses. If we're going to church, she needs to wear one of her nicer dresses, or school or whatever. And so that way you can go and pick out the dress based on what you need. Back here is just some of her dress-up clothes in the new house. I'm excited to show you guys what I have planned. But for right now, they're just up there. Coming down further, again, I did her shirts the same way. So we have short sleeve, or tank top, you know, short sleeve, and then it goes to long sleeve. And that's just easiest to organize. And then her very few jackets are back there because, again, the spaces that are a little bit harder to reach, you want to put the stuff that you do not use as often. That way, you know, she wears jackets maybe 2 or 3 times a year, so we don't really need that. That can stay back there. Underneath is just her dirty clothes bin, and then one of her horses. So again, I will make another video about that basket. Those are their sleeping bags. They use these often, so I needed them in a space that was out of the way, that they will stay clean, but also easy to grab. So that's why I just utilized this shelf for that. Their sleeping bags, they do use those often. Next, I'm going to talk about these pictures really quickly. So this I had made for my daughter for her nursery. Her nursery was like brown and pink, and that matched very well. Now in her room, it's white, you know, pink and light blue, so it doesn't really match. And this one my grandmother painted, so obviously I love it, I want to keep it, but it doesn't necessarily match her decor. With these type of things, hang them in the closet. It does not matter that, you know, your closet decor doesn't match your room. These are the things that I love. This is one of my favorite books that I read to my daughter all the time. Literally makes me bawl my eyes out every time I read it. And so I want to be able to look at it, but it just doesn't necessarily match her room. So it needs to stay. I hang them in the closet. And that goes for this as well. This is what we made, my girlfriend and I, on her first birthday. It has all of... All right, sorry about that. I had to take a break. My son is waking up very quickly, so I have to wrap this up. So what I was saying was, this is my daughter. We made this for her first birthday party. It was a Minnie Mouse theme. I absolutely love it, and I want to keep it and remember it, but that's not something that my daughter, who is, you know, toddler little girl, wants hanging in her room. So utilize the wall space in your closet and hang that memorabilia that doesn't necessarily match the bedroom. This is her nice backpack that she got for Christmas, and I'm trying my best to save it for school. So I always hang it up so that way my daughter doesn't go to that first to use to just, you know, carry around her toys. I want these to stay nice because I love them. So cute. So, you know, I'm utilizing that shelving space where you wouldn't, that wall space would be, you know, it wouldn't really make, what's the word I'm trying to say? I couldn't really use that space. So I, took a hanger and hung it under there, and it's just utilizing the real estate that you have. Next are these bins. So these are from Target. I'm sure everyone has seen these type of bins. They are the most useful bins ever. They're my favorite. But the only thing is, you can't really necessarily stack things on top of it because it will like cave in, and it makes it difficult to open the drawer. So what you have to do is just use some type of shelf, and once it goes over the sides, it helps support, and then it's totally fine. So this is just, I have these baskets from Dollar Tree. I'm just holding some of her stuff. That's an easy grab and go kind of toy that she can play with. Next, so I'm excited to bring you guys along, this housing journey, because how I have it set up is this is clothes. Excuse me, these are toys, and I'm going to be switching that in the new house, and I will explain why later. But for right now, I have underwear, socks, bathing suits, and PJs. And then this is skirts, shorts, and pants, and then extra sheets for her bedroom. Because remember when I said, you shouldn't be using that linen closet if you have a small one. For everyone's sheets, you only need 2 sets per bed. That way when you're washing one, you can put another one directly on. And then that's it. You don't need any more than that, and you want to store it in that room. That way it's just easy to grab when you're changing the sheets. So that's what that drawer is. And the thing I want to point out about these is, not only are these not super tall, they are super easy for my kids to go in, pull it out, throw their socks in there and close. She can put away her own clothes. They're super easy to open. And you know what? If they get destroyed, I think my son wrote marker all over the top too. I ended up getting it off. But my point is, if they get destroyed, it's no big deal. I think I spent 15 on this and then 10 on that one, or somewhere around about there. So if they get ruined, it's not that big of a deal. That's why, when they're young, they're gonna make a mess. They're gonna write all over things. It just happens. So don't buy a $500 dresser. That doesn't make any sense. Then you're gonna be mad at your child for basically being a child. And, you shouldn't have invested that much money into a toddler's dresser. That's crazy. So anyways, moving on from that. This is my daughter's toy storage. So I, again, want to make it super accessible, very easy for her to grab and easy to play with. But here's the thing about kids' toys. When their toys are thrown in one giant box, a toy box or whatever, your kids they will never play with it. There's too much stuff. They don't even have all the pieces. So it's no longer fun. When you spend the time organizing your child's toys, I promise you will buy so much time with them actually playing with them, because they have all of the pieces. It's so much more fun to play with the toy when you have all the pieces. For example, this little Hello Kitty kit. All of the toys, all of the little pieces are inside the little bus thing, and all of it is right here in this bin. All of her Barbie stuff is right here in this bin. When she's ready to come play with her Barbies, all she has to do is take this bin out and play with it. All of the clothes, all of the Barbies, all of it is separated by the type of toys they are. This is a little Frozen set. This is like camping stuff. And that way you're able to see how many toys she has. Let's say, for example, she no longer uses the Hello Kitty set. I can then take this whole entire bin and either sell this entire set or just go ahead and donate it. And then I can use this bin for another new toy. You want to make it easy for your kids to play with it, because then they'll actually play with it. If it's just a giant box, I promise you, they will not play with it. And it's just a big box of wasted money. So if you organize your kids' toys, and that's another thing, speaking of organizing, and then I'll move on. If you organize in a way that makes it so easy for your child to then go and put back the stuff, they will clean up. if you organize that looks all Pinterest perfect and then you expect your child to clean up, they have no idea where that stuff goes. They don't understand what you want from them. This way, if I tell my daughter to go put her Barbies away, all she has to do is throw them in that box. You know, go put her, that bottom one is her ponies. So she'll take the whole box out. Go put your ponies away. She knows exactly where it goes. And that way she understands what is expected of her, as well as she's able to actually do it. Again, organize in a way that's, you know, easy to function and easy to put back. Just because it looks Pinterest perfect, I promise you does not mean it's actually perfect, because you nor your child will be able to actually keep up with that. So moving on, I use the storage space on this shelf to as well, just hidden by the dresses. So I have a few things back there, like I have my mother-in-law bought curtains, and I'm not going to buy new curtain rods for this house because we're moving, but I will definitely be using these in the new house. So I have them just stored here out of the way because I will be using them, just not yet. So this is all of her bows and headbands. This was actually mine when I was a little girl, the actual container. And so we just used that. And then arts and crafts. This I have put up and put away because I do not want my kids to have constant access to this stuff. The reason being is that's how accidents happen. You know, you don't want your kids to draw all over your stuff or ruin your floors or furniture. Well, if you leave it out for them to get, they're gonna do it. So make sure to put it away where they can't get to it. I mean, my daughter really could climb up here and get it, but my son can't get to it. And then organize it in a way that is actually usable. So let me put this down. So in here I have all, my son was in here, but I have like their colored pencils, their crayons, our letters that we're practicing are in this one. Some extra, like this is where we keep our little aprons when we're, you know, painting. Their stickers and coloring books are in here. It's all in here. That way, when it's time to do arts and crafts, all I have to do is just grab this bin and usually take it outside, and we can do it. So again, it's easy and functionable. I don't even think that's a word, but I need to make it a word. So it's easy to use. And then that's it. That's really it for her closet. Keep it simple, keep it just easy to maintain. That's the most important thing. If you get anything out of this video, is make it to where everyone is able, excuse me, everyone is able to, my husband knows where her underwear goes when he puts away the laundry, very rarely, but when he ever puts anything away, he knows where it goes. And my children know where it goes. So anyways, that's it for her video. I hope this was helpful. I definitely stay tuned for when we move. I am so excited to show you guys how I organize that house. There's way more space to organize, as well as I have a ton of ideas for that house. If you have not yet liked this video, that way I know that this is something you want to see. And comment below if you have any suggestions or if you have any cool ways that you organized. And if you have not yet, please subscribe to my channel. I will be doing so much more of these videos, especially in the new house, of how I look at a space and I figure out how I want to organize it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you'll have a blessed day.